Hi all, welcome. So here we go, the next video. So yeah, I've got Robin's Sinclair C5, just been delivered by him. Thank you very much, Robin, from Chichester. Just needing, I'm gonna give it a clean, spend an hour cleaning it, and then just give it a refurbishment and get it running, put new tyres on it, that kind of thing, just so you can drive it around, and then of course you can take it to the next sort of stage if you want to afterwards. So he bought this originally, it's a December 1984 model. And for Sam, if you're watching Sam, there's the number there. And he mentioned it hasn't been used for like 20 odd years. It's just been sort of stuck up, you know, in a barn kind of gist. And you can sort of see it's like really dirty. Lots of spiders, standard sort of stuff, you know, underneath all of these. Pod's got normal corrosion on the back socket, had a look at that already. Original connector in there, which we'll get rid of and put the quick release connector on. Lots of sort of standard like dirt and crud, etc. The switch is completely seized as well, which you can see there. Let's focus that. So I mean, completely seized. So that probably need a new switch on there. It's no problem at all. And I say I don't sort of specifically clean C5s, you know, deeply. I think that's down to the owners to do, but I always do give it like 1 hour. I'll spend an hour cleaning a Sinclair, no problem at all. Running the original tyres, they're quite cracked, and as you see here, I mean, they might be overinflated, but either way, they're never normally reliable, you know. And of course, with C5 tyres, you want to be able to run them nice and firm for maximum speed and all the efficiency. So you can have those back, obviously, and we'll put on I'll just put on some brand new tyres. Tyre stickers look good. I think once it's given it a quick clean, they look pretty nice. Got some scratches here on the corner. Otherwise, it's not bad. Hopefully, these aren't seized. These are normally seized. We've got one original rubber here, missing one, obviously, there. Loads of dirt and crud and sort of rust and all that sort of stuff, but it doesn't look like anything's broken in terms of welding and all that, which is good news. Chain looks pretty bad. It does rotate, so I will check the chain off and soak it and see what we think. And obviously, if Robin wants a brand new chain, which we'll see how sort of fluid the movement, how fluid it is, and if it actually moves well, because you know it needs to be reliable, and you don't want the chain falling off because you didn't spend 20 odd quid on a brand new chain. Original drive belt as well, again lots of dirt and stuff. I did notice there was one crack here in the gearbox, and it's hard to tell actually if it's a brown gearbox. So, and actually now I'm looking at this closely in this better light, actually I can see that it is indeed the brown gearbox there. So there's brown gearbox here, and say that the normal white plastic here. So yes, that will make sense why it's cracked. Yeah, you can just about see there are multiple cracks. Okay, yes, so realistically it's going to need a new one of those, definitely. Okay, interesting. Yeah, and he mentioned, just for my reference, he's put a new inner tube. I think it's in one of these wheels, possibly this one here looks like it should be a new one on the left hand side. Yes, good point, that does need a new one of those, and they're about 50 quid normally, I think. Original here, not been taken apart yet, still got the rivets on there holding it together. Hopefully the electronics work. I'd be surprised if they did work, but hopefully it's just a couple of burnt components or whatever. That works. It's all tight, you know, the chain's tight and stuff. Headlights looks really nice. That's pretty good. Stickers look good as well. Looking underneath, it's got original cover, calipers, etc. The brakes do work, but they're a bit bad, you know. I'd say the chain's potentially a bit ropey, but I'll see what it says about the chain. Otherwise, normal sort of surface corrosion. So yeah, what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna give it a quick hoover, and then I'm gonna give it just a normal sort of light scrub, just to get rid of the majority of the spiders and the crap and all that sort of thing underneath there. and then I can then bring it into the garage once it's a bit cleaner, and then start some work on it. Cool, thank you all. Yep, hey Robin. So yep, the bearing obviously feels good. Obviously it needs lubrication, cleaning, but one of the most important things, other than this, well, the whole thing's important because all of this is valuable, basically. But the 3 planetary gears there look absolutely wonderful. The 2 bearings on the end look absolutely wonderful as well. Obviously this is the part we just mentioned, so they all snapped off. They're literally just brittle. They just came off instantly. But that all looks very, very good and excellent condition. That all appears to be in. So that's a little bit tight on there, but again, that would probably just be the brushes just having some corrosion on sort of the commutator aspect around this sort of section here. So again, I'll just take it apart and then I'll just plonk it back in there, obviously minus all of the gearbox. And then when the new cover comes in, I can quickly just bolt on the new cover from Sam, which obviously been original in the different plastic. Nice. Yeah, I mean, obviously you can do anything you want. You can replace belts, but I mean, I would say, you know, unless you want to spend money, just reuse the original belt here. Obviously, when I take it for a test drive, we'll know instantly if the belt's good. The belt probably is good. Of course, you could go and buy another one. That's entirely up to you. It's all just whatever money you want to spend, really is fine. But yeah, excellent, cool. Right, yeah, looking pretty good now. So I'll rinse it off in a minute, but basically I've managed to get it scrubbed all the way inside there, all around here, degreased it all, which you can sort of see nice and shiny now along there. Cleaned and degreased the chain tensioner and the back side of both of the wheels, of course, and removed the wheels as required. Done the bearings, greased the bearing on this wheel here, the roller bearing, etc. So that's all good. I've just removed the front wheel. Brake cable seems good. Just cleaned it all up. Give it a good brush. I'll obviously remove the caliper and just check it operates, because it's definitely a little bit stiff. And so I'll rinse it off in a second. And there's the front wheel. Just giving it a good scrub. And obviously what I'll do is I'll now take out the spindle and obviously clean everything and rebuild it with fresh grease as well, so that spins perfectly, ready for the new tyres when they arrive from eBay. And this is all on loose, obviously, so I can remove it all when I put the tyres back on again. But yes, looking much nicer. I want to sort of get it clean, you know, so that way when I'm working on it, you know, once the parts arrive, at least I sort of know that it's not, you know, generally clean. And then the electronics, obviously I'll do, once I've done the mechanical stuff and got it sort of rolling and revving, then I'll work on the electronics and find out what's wrong with the lights, etc. Cool. Right then, yep, so the next area to do is the connector. So as you can see here, clearly that it's got corrosion on the outside, and it's bound to have corrosion on the inside, and also it pushes on quite gently as well, whereas when you put a new one on, they always push on nice and tight to the pins. So this area here is an absolute area that most people will have problems with on the Sinclair C5. So it takes, I would say, it literally takes like sort of 20-30 minutes to fit, because obviously you have to push each one in individually and very, very carefully. Excuse the dog in the background, standard. But yeah, shouldn't cause any dramas. So I'll get that on now, then I can connect up the pod, and then go from there in terms of fixing the pod or the control box or wherever's required. Excellent. Right, yeah, we can have a first look together. So I've just drilled out the rivets. You can see where the debris on there. First time opening. So let's have a little look. This little crack. Right. Okay. Often R1, just down there, resistor 1 is often toast. But there's nothing else, nothing obvious there. Other common things, obviously you have to test these things, yeah, to check voltages and what have you. But this one here, there's 3-pin one just there, it's riveted on, which is an IC1, just there on the heatsink. That's often a common problem, because it kind of goes from R1 into IC1, and it goes all the way along here to IC2, which is the black chip just there underneath the black wire. That causes a lot of problems as well, with like LEDs, etc. We've also had in the past components down here as well, which have gone wrong. Yeah, these transistors, for example, the black ones here with the 3 legs on here, had a bunch of those go wrong. I always keep anyway, you know, a good old ton of parts basically for all of these. Obviously fixing electronics is not a massive thing I do a lot of, you know. I'd rather sort of like the other people on the forum do this, but if somebody brings me the Sinclair C5, I'm absolutely happy to do the whole job. You know, I just don't do fixing electronics through the post anymore because it's just too much hassle, you know, trying to sort of assist people afterwards when things might not work still, you know, to do with like the red loom or the sensors or motor overheating, etc, etc. At least if I fix electronics myself, I can test the C5, you know, for half an hour and I know that it's good or not good. But anyway, we've blatantly got a D1 issue there, absolutely cooked. Fuses look good. Otherwise, everything else visually looks good. And that's not saying there's no issues down there, but at least it visually looks good. So yeah, let's get that component out, put a new one in, and then I can then test it on my system with my loom that I know that works, and then go from there. Right, yeah, quick update on Robin's Sinclair C5. So I've got Jon's front disc kit on there, and obviously it needs bedding in, etc, etc. It rubs ever so slightly, but this is sort of common. It's on to adjust it and use it on the road and get the pads bedded in and seated and all that sort of stuff. But that is going to be absolutely, honestly, that's going to be a wonderful upgrade. And obviously when you fit these disc brakes, they come as a kit with these parts here from Jon. Thanks, Jon, much appreciated. They don't come with a brake cable, so you'll need a longer front brake cable. As you see here, it's, you know what I mean, 4 or 5 inches too short, plus of course turning as well, so actually it's probably a fair bit too short. But you can get the Wilkinson ones for literally a £5 delivered from like eBay. So you get a long front universal brake cable for that. So that is excellent. I've also got the new tyres as well. So these are all made by Schwalbe. They're all directional tyres as well, so make sure you look out for the rotation on there. And we've also got the matching ones for the rear. The front ones don't mention Road Cruiser on them, but they're the same Schwalbe brand. I think they're called Road Runner or something like that. But the Road Cruiser here, but they're the same tread pattern on the back. Got 2 new inner tubes because Robin had already installed an inner tube on one of the rears he had, so that was good. Yeah, very, very, very nice. Loving that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fit the quick release connectors. I've removed the brown wire, the little modification to remove that, and obviously I'll sort of solder in a short version of that. I'll fit these now. I'm going to fix the electronics over the weekend when I have spare time, and then otherwise I'm just waiting for some parts from the C5 depot from Sam, and then it can be assume electronics work, etc. It can be road tested and happy days. Right, let me get these little beauties in. Right, yeah, thanks Sam, C5 depot, much appreciated, sending me over this beautiful part. So yep, as you see here everyone, I'm going to replace the old brown finger style gearbox cradle. Literally they all just break. That's just a type of material. Sinclair realised this really, really quickly, and then they upgraded these brown types to this plastic type here, which is obviously not brittle. And these things here, these little fingers, they sort of bend slightly so you can get the gearbox on and off. So I've got that there, as well as the cleaned gearbox and bearing, etc., and all the planetary gears I've got as well. So yeah, I'm gonna swap this over now, grease it up, put the little rubber seal in there, put it back together again, put it in, put the belt on, and that should be good for that. And Sam's also provided the brand new chain as well, which is absolutely lovely, just here. And also these amazing rubber high-vis mast pieces that go on here as well. So that's cool. And it's just convenient to get these bits from Sam, just to reduce and save on postage, get it all together from one place, job done. So yeah, let's lob that on and crack on. Right, and yeah, so looking good. So thanks again Sam, C5 Depot, for the new chain with the half link and the joiner. That's superb. I'm now going to fit this part here from Sam, and then take it for a little test drive and see if it works or not. And also I've got brand new tyres on it. We've kept the original belt. Again, we're going to sort of try and keep costs low. Obviously Robin can upgrade to whatever he wants in the future, such as a wider belt. Right, and here we go. Test drive of the Sinclair C5. Really, really powerful. Going very, 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 very nice. Oh God, it just shows what having a decent motor the C5 does. Versus the motor in my Sinclair, absolutely on its last legs, or something is, because it's nowhere near as good as this one. Bear in mind, this one here is very, very low mileage. Used for a couple of years, then put away in Robin's garage or something, that kind of gist, you know, and left for 20 or 30 years or whatever it was, you know, that sort of story, you know, that kind of story. We've got a minor problem here. I told Robin about. It's on the left-hand side ULA chip fault. It's going to red. It's not going to green. I do know that is a fault with the ULA chip. And I said to Robin, just run it as it is, rather than fit in the modern chips, and you know, an additional cost, etc. I suggest running it as it is, using this chip here, because it runs very nice. And so we've got Jon's front disc kit on it. Also, I'm steering it one-handed at the moment. Just to sort of, I want to try and sort of bed the brakes in after this. But yeah, it's going very nicely. Absolutely lovely. So yeah, there we go. Another Sinclair C5 on the road, and as I say, Robin can just run this Sinclair C5, use it, and then of course if you want to do full restoration. Right, yes, hi all, good morning. So yeah, just giving the Sinclair C5 a good clean. This is Robin's Sinclair, and it's looking really, really nice. So it was really, really marked. Not been cleaned in a long time. I managed to get, of course, all of the dirt out. I would say there's still many scuffs and marks on it, but I've scrubbed with the Brillo pads, the soap filled Brillo pads and the sieve, and just can't get the other marks out. So they're obviously just well ingrained into it. The plan as well was just me to spend, you know, time initially when I first got the C5 cleaning underneath, and then just 1 hour cleaning the exterior. That's kind of like my limit for cleaning, because I prefer, you know, people and owners, etc., just to give them really deep cleans if that's the sort of thing they're into. But yeah, that's really nice. So I've got the brand new tyres on it. We've got the Jon Webster front disc brake kit, and I say I'm not fitting the front wheel cap. Robin knows, because you have to sort of cut out a little notch here for the caliper, and then which is no problem at all to do that. But I said to Robin, you know, you want to use it and then bed in the disc, bed in the pads, etc., bed it all in, then fit that if you wishes. But I said to him, it looks really nice with it off. So for the moment, we're just going to leave it off, and if he wants it fitted, you know, he can do it himself, or I can do it for him, you know, next time in the future. But yeah, that looks really good. So thank you for Jon for that disc brake kit, looking good. And underneath we've got parts from C5 Depot from Sam. Got a chain, brand new chain. We've got these which is really good. These amazing little parts here, which I love. I just put on a little blob of clear glue on each one, and the later gearbox cradle underneath there to replace the brown finger one, which was cracked and broken. So that's looking nice. It's a grey boot model, so December 1984. There is the number there, and I say very original, one owner from new. I fitted the new tyres in the tubes, fixed electronics, got all that working. So Jon's kit there, and I say I haven't done anything else particularly underneath other than just gone to just give it a service and a clean. You know, cleaned up all the chain tension that was all gummed up. You know, cleaned all the bearings. That kind of gist there. Cleaned a ton of dirt. You know, 40 years of dirt from underneath it. So it's now looking sort of nice underneath, nice on top. Electronics all work, like new light switch, a new red connector on the pod, because that was intermittent. Like I mentioned, fixed electronics as well. So yeah, a fair bit of work. Rebuilt the motor, that kind of gist. So just got it all sort of mechanically working and as clean as I could get it. And there we go. Yeah, hello Robin. Just going out for one more last cruise. Just make sure it's all good. Just to try and bed in the brakes, but I say this C5 pulls so well with that. It's low mileage on it. Really nice. I'm just going to go up and down the road a bunch of times, just try and get the front brake better bedded in. But look, I mean, it pulls lovely. Nice. Turn this round here. See how well it goes down the road. Beautiful. perfect. Yep, that'll do. This C5 is absolutely spot on. You know, obviously, you know, you can also do long road trials and etc. But seems absolutely fine. Perfect. So the brake's a little bit squeaky just because I'm only using that one brake rather than both brakes. You know, and obviously it's only done about probably done about 5 brakes on the rear. That's all. But yeah, very, very good. Excellent. There it is, looking lovely and clean. It's nice bright white. Yeah, looking very, very good. And I say it's looking as clean as it can do, pretty much underneath as well. You know, in all the areas underneath there, I've cleaned it, and all looks great. New chain feels absolutely spot on. To be honest, just feel no issues with anything at all really on it, I'd say. You know, and there we go. Right, cool.